Hi, welcome to Ride with Ree, and today I'm going to talk to you about catering. I know I have been promising this video for such a long time. I apologize that it's been so long before I've been able to make this video, but stay tuned and watch, and I will share with you what it's like to pick up an order through Cartwheel. I'm doing a Cartwheel order today, and it is through a service called King Courier. So later on in this video, after we pick up this order and I show you what picking up a catering order is like in 2026 with the Cartwheel app, then after that I'm going to come on and show you the different apps that I use. And I'll tell you right now so you don't have to wait. I use Zifty. I have Zifty up right here on my other phone, and I'm constantly checking for orders because they pop up in a second. I use Zifty. I also have Expedite, which used to be Delivered. I also have Deliver That, but they have gone way down. If you know about it, then yeah, you know it's gone way down. And I have something called Skipcart, but I haven't been getting any catering orders on Skipcart. I don't know why. But those are the apps that I use for catering delivery. And it's kind of cool out here, so you can't see my face very well. But let's go in and let's pick up this order from Waldo's. I had to look over here. Waldo's Chicken and Beer. I had to look at their van. I think it's a small order, and it's paying, I believe, $30-something. Let's go. I was asked quite a while ago what I use for catering and to pick up my catering orders. It is a must that I have a wagon like this. Once I had, and also bags. Now, what I do with my bags is I line them with these big white bags. So you'll see in here, they usually, unless it's in Waldo's, unless it is box meals, then they're gonna just have pans, silver pans. But I will show you once we get inside. I have one bag for hot and one bag for cold. And then I have another bag that I got from Delivered, which is now Expedite. But that one's tearing up on the inside. I got these from Temu, but they also have them at Amazon, and the links for these things are in the description.
She's gonna check it out.
Okay, sure. It looks like everything's there. Okay, it's ready, so I'm going to move everything over to the counter so I could pack it up, or to the table. Okay, so this is the Cartwheel app, and I don't really know why it says -5 minutes, maybe because I'm 5 minutes late for the pickup, but I was here on time. So I'm going to click on pick up, and then I'm going to, these are the order details. This is where you see the list of items. Cartwheel does not give the price though. And then you check it off, go back, order is checked. You could do a picture, but I don't. I completed the pickup, and now I'm going to navigate to the next stop, and let's see how far we've got to go. It's not very far. It's slow. My navigation is slow. All right, so I'm just going 2.4 miles in 7 minutes. I'm gonna get all of this packed into the bag, and then I'll be heading out. This part right here will get scratched and torn if you don't have a lining. All right, so I've got hot in here, the few cold things in here, which is just a salad and some dressings, and the tea, which will go right over here. I usually line the back of my trunk with plastic bags, but I have got some specialty mats coming, so I'll talk about that in another video. I have arrived at the drop-off, And with catering orders, you will be delivering to office buildings such as this one, or you may be delivering to medical offices or even hospitals sometimes. Rarely do you deliver to individuals' houses, but I've had that on occasion. I'm gonna get all the food. I called the person, but they did not answer. So hopefully the doors are open and they know where I'm going. The reason why it's good to have the wagon is because the food is heavy. And yes, you can carry it, but that's gonna create a lot of wear and tear on not just your body, but also your catering bags. So you want your bags to last as long as they possibly can. By the way, I line my my car with plastic so that it doesn't make my floor mats really dirty. That's just something that I like to do. But I also keep extra bags in the bottom of my trunk so that, let's say for example, I want to just put these silver pans in another bag. I'll have extra bags to do that with. Okay, let's get this delivered. Okay, so this is the way you might set up. Sometimes you don't need to set up, but a lot of times there'll be a room and you will just lay everything out buffet style. I'm gonna put these sauces out, put the tongs out, and then that's it. Okay. The person who was meeting me, always look for the ramp if you have your wagon. The person who was meeting me was right there at the door, and she led me to, it was kind of like through a conference room type area into that kitchenette area. And while she got ice and things like that, I got set up. So that is a catering order, pretty much. This was a simple one because it was to a business. The phone numbers are in the app, so you can always call the customer or just go to the door and ask somebody or look for somebody if you cannot contact the customer to know exactly where to get in. But as you can see, this is pretty straightforward. Okay, well, I'm going to come back once I get home, and I'm going to talk to you more about how you get signed up for catering deliveries. Hey, I'm back home. Welcome to my home. So good to have you here. So in the last video that I put out here on the channel, I asked you to send me cities that you want me to look up for catering delivery opportunities, and you did. So now I'm going to show you what I found, and more importantly, I'm going to show you how to find these opportunities no matter where you live. So if you didn't get a chance to send me your market, that is okay. This video is still for you. I'll have links to everything that I mentioned down in the description. But keep in mind, this video is being recorded in March of 2026. Some of the specific opportunities may have changed depending on when you're watching this, but no worries because you can do this type of search anytime. So most of my search was done on Indeed, but you can use any search site you like, and you can even just type into Google Catering Delivery Jobs plus your city and state. Now we're going to go over to the screen share and dive into what I found. And I'm telling you, I think this is going to surprise you. Even if you live in a small market, there are still catering delivery opportunities for you. So keep watching. Let's start with Jacksonville, Florida. Jacksonville, Florida was requested by Miss Redvon 77. Thank you so much, Miss Redvon, for your patience. I know you requested this a while back, and I hope this not only helps you, but anyone else out there who's looking for catering delivery opportunities. So the first catering company that I found is called Carolina Deliveries LLC, and I've never heard of them. Let me know if you have ever heard of Carolina Deliveries LLC in the comments. And if you try it out, let me know what you find out. So we are going to look at a few of the details. I have them here on the screen and we will go through them together, specifically the requirements, the pay structure, and how to apply. Most of the ones we're looking at today, you're just going to click apply now, and like I said, I have all the links in the description, so check those out. So now let's go through these details really quickly, and of course you can look at these on your own anytime you want. Come back to this video, check it out. So this is on Indeed, and what I typed in to do the job search was catering delivery jobs. So right here, I would type in catering delivery jobs, and the where, it's either where you would like to deliver, or if you're in a small town, type in the nearest largest city, because sometimes you'll get orders from smaller cities that are nearby the larger cities. Okay, let's jump right into these details for Carolina Deliveries LLC. And of course, it is a 1099 position. It says it's perfect for people looking to make extra cash on the side. That's like all of us, right? Ideal for candidates that have worked for delivery service jobs and have previous catering delivery experience with DoorDash or other similar jobs. So other similar 1099 gigs. If you've done that, they're looking for you. Their times, and this is going to be for most of the catering companies that we will talk about. The peak busy time is weekday lunch, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Monday through Fridays. And the orders that they deliver are larger than what you typically see delivering on-demand orders. This is not an hourly pay job. You are paid per order. Of course, that's the way catering works. That's really the way that gig work is, but they have to put that in there. Pay starts at a minimum of, this is important, $17 per order, and can go up depending on the trip size of the order. So $17 is what Carolina Deliveries LLC is saying they start at, and it does include the tip. I would say that's a little bit low for catering delivery orders. Maybe if it was like a $50 order, you would just need to apply and really see what they have on their app, see what they are offering to check out what they really do pay. So now here's something interesting. The pay says $50 to $200 per day. And that tells me that maybe they've got some bigger orders that they're working with, especially if they have $200 per day. So again, to apply, you just click this apply now button. And if you've got your resume in Indeed already, it'll auto populate and you can send it off and see what happens. So Miss Redvon 77, please let me know if you applied to this one. Come back and let us all know. That would be awesome. Now let's look at the next one in Jacksonville, which is for Fetch Me. That didn't go like I planned. So for Fetch Me right there. And they have their pay at $30 to $55 an hour. And then same as far as the times, it's going to be, they're saying 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. But I'd like us to look here at the job details. So let's look. Well, there we go. I just went right past it. Excuse me for that. But it says, to excel in this part-time job, you will need to be dependable, provide excellent customer service, and have access to your own vehicle for deliveries. That's pretty much all of the 1099 larger catering companies. Now we're going to get into some specific catering companies for restaurants, and some of those have company cars. We'll talk about that in just a bit. I want to say that if you hear some fire engines in the background, it's because I am charging my EV at a fire station as I am recording this. So let's go back and look at the rest of the description. It says that most deliveries take around 30 minutes and occur between 9 a.m. and 2 p.m. Deliverers typically earn drivers, my bad, typically earn 30 to 45 per delivery, and says you can supplement income from, especially if you're working with Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, etc. If you're looking to make money in the mornings. Okay, I'm really going to be able to talk. Let's keep going. And now this I found very interesting. This is how they assign orders, and they specifically talk about it. We assign orders ahead of time and match them with available drivers to maximize efficiency. The more reliable and available you are, the more deliveries you can take and the more you'll earn. So I'd want to know what that means. Do they have a rating system like Expedite? If you sign up for Fetch Me, and Fetch Me might be in, as I talk, I'll just scroll through some of the other details here. Fetch Me may be in other cities and states besides Jacksonville, Florida. I would definitely apply and see if it's in your city and state, in your marketplace. Okay, so let's move on now from Jacksonville, and we are going to go all the way up to Minneapolis, Minnesota. Minneapolis, Minnesota in the Midwest was requested by Stephanie Hernandez 90. So thank you, Stephanie, for requesting Minneapolis, Minnesota, where did it go? Right here? There it is. Yes. All right. So thank you so much for requesting Minneapolis, Minnesota. And let's look at these details. The one that I found, the company is Local Meal Delivery LLC. And actually, again, through Indeed, that says Jacksonville, Florida, but we are not there. We are in Minneapolis, Minnesota now. So I have everything on the screen, and you can pause if you want to look at the details. I'm not going to go through them as much because I don't want this video to be super, super long, but I will scroll through, and again, all those links are in the description. Now, if you, like I said earlier, if you're watching this and it's way later than when I posted, these may or may not still be available, but you can always look to see if there are other ones available by typing in catering, delivery, driving jobs, or something like that in Indeed or your favorite job search, or even Google. So let's look at some of these requirements they listed out here, and it's a little different than the ones that we saw before. They say they'd like you to have an SUV, hatchback, or minivan. So we have not seen that on the other catering, for the other catering company requirements. Valid driver's license, that's everybody. An insurance, smartphone with data plan, of course, that's everybody. Ability to lift up to 30 pounds, and yes, the catering food is heavy, so you do need to be able to lift to carry this heavy, big amount of food. Professional, punctual, and dependable. I believe that's going to be everybody. Now, interesting about the pay here. Pay is $8 to $2,290.11 per week. That's very specific. Wow. Okay, so if anyone signs up for Local Meal Delivery LLC, that may not just be in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Check it out to see if it's in your area. Click that apply now. This is in the Indeed link again, and just go ahead and apply no matter where you're at, because the most that will happen, or the least that will happen, is you will not get a response. And then you'll know, no, actually that's not for my area. Now the next city is really interesting because the catering delivery opportunities are a little bit different. And so next we are moving to Savannah, Georgia, and Savannah was requested by, let's see here, I'm looking at my notes. I do have some notes to help keep me on track. Latika 28. Thank you so much, Latika, for requesting Savannah, Georgia, and I hope this is helpful. If it is, please let me know in the comments, and let everybody know in the comments how it goes if you try out any of these. Okay, I've got the windows down too, and yes, I am in the dark because I want to get this video finished. I've been working on this for quite a while in between working a ton on the gig apps that I use. So again, I've got my notes, so I'll be looking over here so I don't forget anything. Savannah did not really have any large catering companies that I saw, like the ones we looked at in Jacksonville, or even the ones that you see me work on this channel. What Savannah did have were small independent restaurants that offer catering delivery jobs, like actual W-2 jobs instead of 1099. It just depends on the restaurant though, and we'll get into that in just a minute, what each specific one requires. But the ones that I found were Moe's, Fil A, and Ruby Tuesday. Do you remember Ruby Tuesday? We only have one in my market. What about you? So here's the key difference to understand. When you're working with these bigger multi-restaurant catering delivery companies, you tend to get more volume, bigger orders, and most, if not all, of the tip. However, with restaurant-specific deliveries, it's a little bit different. You're usually getting a flat rate. You use a company vehicle, not all of them, but some of them, and we'll look specifically at each one. And the tip structure tends to vary. So it really comes down to what kind of setup you prefer. And now you'll have all of the different possibilities so that you can make the best choice for you. Okay, now let's look at what is available in Savannah as of this recording. And again, this is not just for Savannah. Look for these types of opportunities in whatever marketplace you work. So now let's go through this job for Moe's and see what they're saying. Pay is 20 to 30 an hour. That's pretty solid. I mean, that's what I make multi-apping sometimes. And then not to use your car, that's pretty cool. And then it says the shifts are short shifts, 1 to 3 hours per day, 90% around lunchtime. Now here's the thing, you're going to get 10 hours per week, around 10 hours. So you will want to supplement that with something if you're looking to make a higher weekly pay. But if you just need 10 hours, this may be awesome. And you can read through the summary. You can pause this if you like. Essential functions here. You're going to be packaging the food and other products. You're going to be preparing the food and other products for catering orders. Now, that's something really different from the larger companies that we have seen before. You're not preparing any of the food. And then here, this is also a difference. Employees will be trained in several operational areas and are expected to perform multiple duties at any given time. So you got to weigh out those different functions to see what suits you best. Are you open to work in Moe's or whatever restaurant you might be looking at to be one of their specific catering drivers? And then drives company-owned vehicle to deliver customer orders. Must qualify on company insurance. Valid, which means you need a valid driver's license and a good, I don't know what good means, but they say good MVR report. Okay, so here we've got the personal requirements. Maybe this breaks it down. You must have a good driving record for the last 3 years. And again, I don't know what good means, but you could always, what I would suggest is to reach out to this Moe's. This is for if you're in Savanna, but if you're in a different city, whatever restaurant you're looking at, partnering with or working for to deliver their catering orders, just give them a call and see if they can give you some specifications before you apply if you want to do that. Must have good time management skills with the ability to multitask. I think if we're doing gig work, we do that. Maintain a neat and clean appearance. Follow food safety procedures. Must be a courteous driver who follows all traffic laws and always represents the Moe's brand in a positive manner. Anticipate and identify problems with deliveries and help find solutions, and maintains a clean delivery vehicle and notifies management of any maintenance concerns or issues. They go on to talk about the working conditions here. Again, feel free to pause to read. I won't read all of this. The accountabilities, who you're accountable to. I do want to point out, as with, this is a W-2, so as with W-2, you are accountable to these people: the sales manager, catering sales manager, general manager, and assistant manager, and shift leaders. I know some people who do gig work are happy not to be reporting to anybody. So you know yourself best and you know what is best suited for you. So again, here are the rest, and there is a little bit more information. So that was for Moe's. Now we're going to look at next is going to be Fil A. And we have this in Nashville, actually. We have I saw when they were hiring for Fil A drivers, and I've seen their company cars and whatnot. And so I considered it. But I did not go through with it because I like my autonomy. So let's take a look here. The full job description. Delivery drivers are generally offered as either part-time or full-time. You will be a member of the Fil A family, and they call it a family, and help uphold our high standards of presentation, service, and care. The ideal candidate must be able to execute Fil A's hospitality with our guests in a caring way. And you all know how Fil A's guest services is. Clear and excellent communication skills via our delivery app are paramount to help us continue to meet our guests' expectations outside of the restaurant. So Fil A has listed the benefits here. Again, pause if you need. The responsibilities here. And also the qualifications. Driver's license, ability to carry tote bags, extra large, extra large, and it just gives you some more information down here. So that is Fil A. And then the next one in Savanna, I keep having to change that. That's Savannah, Georgia. Just imagine that says Savannah, Georgia up there, or whatever city and state you're looking in, is going to be Ruby Tuesday. So Ruby Tuesday, we have one. Do you have any in your area? And if you do, they may need catering drivers. So let's look at Ruby Tuesday and look at their job description and see how it contrasts to compares to the other ones that we've seen. So the catering delivery position is responsible for suggesting, serving, and when needed, delivering and setting up food and beverages to guests utilizing the to-go or catering delivery service. And then these are the essential duties and responsibilities. I won't read them all, But I want to point out, provide each guest with friendly welcome and farewell to ensure a positive, memorable experience and repeat business. I'm guessing that's when you drop off, you arrive at the catering delivery and drop off. Now, this is interesting too. Answer the phone and assist with answering guest questions in a friendly, courteous manner. So, I'm not sure when you would be answering a phone, but I wonder if you would be taking the catering orders, like recording them if people call. That's an interesting one that we have not seen yet. Then guide guests through food, beverage, and catering promotional menus. I think I just answered my own question, because maybe you are the one in this Ruby Tuesday job who is going to be taking those catering orders as well. So even if you don't have any of these restaurants in your market, you might check with restaurants around your area and see if they have catering delivery driver jobs available that you can take. So again, I will slowly scroll down so that you can read and see what those are. And then the qualifications are here. And it says, I just want to point this one out, able to operate a coffee maker, POS system, microwave, computer, copier, telephone, knives. What are we doing with knives? Ovens, bread slicer, and cell phone. Okay, I get the cell phone, but the knives in the oven, that's one we haven't seen yet. So each restaurant is going to have different requirements. And again, I'll keep saying it, just ask what they are, because I would never assume that one is the same as the other. Each one is going to have their specifics. I'm wrapping up this video, and our final location is a much smaller market. It's Putnam, Connecticut, and I'm back in the house to finish this up, by the way. Putnam, Connecticut was requested by Palomino 627. So Palomino, thank you for requesting Putnam, Connecticut, because you are helping everyone to see what you do in a smaller market. I didn't find any major catering opportunities in Putnam, Connecticut, believe it or not. And a lot of you all might be in small markets like that. But that doesn't mean there's no opportunities. Here's what I did find. You can sign up for Uber, and I will put my link in the description, because that will give you a bonus when you do your first, and it'll tell you how many orders. That's not just for Putnam, Connecticut. That is for any place, at least I know in the United States. You can sign up using the link in the description, and it will let you know if there is a bonus available for you. And I've actually gotten orders that are as large as catering deliveries tend to be, the smaller ones at least, on Uber. I got one just yesterday. I think it was 2 stops, and it maybe took me 30 minutes, $20. So that's about the same as a small catering order. So if you haven't signed up for Uber, I would definitely give that a try. And there's one more possibility that I want to talk about for Putnam, but not just Putnam, any place where you're in a small city or a small town. So pay really close attention to this one. And we'll go back one more time to the screen share so I can show you exactly what to do. So if you're in a smaller town like Putnam, don't just search your exact location. Go to Google and type in Catering Delivery Jobs, and then put the nearest major city. So some cities that are larger than Putnam that I found were Providence, Rhode Island, and there was also Southborough, I believe. And of course, if a very large city is an option, you can always type in Boston. Boston is approximately, if I have it correct, an hour and 20 minutes away from Putnam. Palomino 627, that may not be feasible for you. However, if it is, Boston has some really nice possibilities that we're going to look at here. So one I want to point out is called Meals Now. Meals Now might be one of those companies that often has delivery zones that extend outward, and maybe it would extend outward to Putnam. You never know until you try. And again, here are some of the qualifications, the responsibilities, and about the position. Here's another one, Semi-Day, I think is how you pronounce that. And that's in Chestnut Hill, Massachusetts. I'll just quickly scroll. And you can type in the exact same thing I typed in, change the city, whatever city works best for you, and see what comes up. There's no harm in applying just to see what their coverage area is. Outside of the main catering platforms that so many people here on YouTube talk about, which are Deliver, That, Expedite, which used to be Delivered, Zifty, or some of the other ones that are local, more local. I hope that this gives you a window, some insight into the possibilities of catering, even in markets as small as Putnam, Connecticut. I hope that you see that there's really a lot of opportunities out there. They may be hidden. You just need to know where to go looking for them. And if there aren't any opportunities out there that you find like these, remember you can always reach out to restaurants and ask if they would like to have a dedicated catering delivery driver. And that could be you. You might start something new in your market. That's a catering. Didn't swipe it in time. Maybe you will be able to get all those catering orders, though, when you start signing up. So even if I didn't mention your city, use these methods. Start searching, start reaching out, and see what's out there for catering opportunities in your market. Thank you for watching. If you made it all the way to the end, drop money. Because, you know, these catering orders, they make us a lot of money. And I will see you on the next one. Bye.